Hello there, greetings. Welcome to Educate Sigama Geva KZN June 2024, doing question 6 on electric circuits. Circuit 1 and Circuit 2 consist of two resistors of resistance 4 ohms and 8 ohms respectively, a bulb of resistance Rx and an emitter of negligible resistance connected to a 14 volts battery as shown below. So we are given two circuits here. We've got circuit 1 and we can see that this is a series circuit because the current is not splitted or divided in any way. So this is the positive terminal, then this is the negative terminal. So basically the electric current is moving in this conventional direction. And then this is the same current passing through R1 and R2. And then this is the same current going back to the negative terminal. So it's a series circuit. The current is not splitted, or it doesn't go two separate ways in any ways. Then you've got circuit 2, which is a parallel circuit with a positive and a negative. Okay, so it's not really parallel alone. It is it also has got a series part, because you've got here, this is all the what? This is all the current that is moving from positive. Then the total current, it will go through Rx. Rx, it is just the bulb here. They've just said it's a bulb, right? Of resistance Rx. And then that's the total current entering there. And then the same current, it will have to go. And here it splits. You can see that it splits. So some of it goes up there, some of it goes down there, and then it combines again, comes back, goes to the negative terminal. Okay, this is just for us to see. So here they say now the emitter reading in circuit 2 is 2 amperes. So here the reading on the emitter here in circuit 2 is 2 amperes. You can see that here is 2 amperes. So I recommend that you highlight first the series part and the parallel part so that it becomes easier for you. So this, all of it, this is a series part, is the part that is receiving the current split, or it's not splitted, it's just the total current from the battery exactly as it is. And this part is also receiving the total current exactly as it is. Okay, so if you don't understand this, make sure that you watch my videos on series and parallel circuits and how they work. And then this is the parallel part. The parallel part, in the simple we born, it has got a box-like shape. So it's just like a box. This is the parallel part of the circuit. All right. Now cool that. Now here the emitter reading 2 amperes. This 2 amperes, it is the current that is going through the 4 ohms resistor. Okay, when we put an emitter here next to this resistor 4 ohms, or when we put, you can say that R1 is 4 ohms, right? And when we put here this emitter, which is 2 amperes, in series with this 4 ohms resistor, it means that the current through 4 ohms here, it is also 2 amperes. So it is also 2 amperes as well. So now the first question says, define the term current in words. Okay, it's very simple to define it. Remember, electric current, you define it as the rate of flow of charge. So basically, this is the rate of flow of charge. Or you can say that it is the flow of charge per unit time, but this is the simplest one, is the rate of flow of charge, and then you get 2 marks for that. Cool. And then now 6.2 goes on and says, calculate the potential difference. Remember, potential difference is otherwise known as voltage across the parallel combination. So they want the parallel potential difference here, the parallel voltage. So here in circuit 2, you can see that is the one that we have highlighted in blue. Basically, the parallel combination, we have highlighted it using blue here. So that is what we are supposed to calculate. What is its potential difference? Remember that the potential difference across the parallel combination, it is the same thing as a potential difference across R1 and R2. Why is that? It is because remember that on parallel resistors, the potential difference, it is equal. Please guys, do not come and say that the potential difference LAPO, it will be equals to 14 volts. Why do I say that is wrong? Because Lana, we have got Rx here. This Rx, it is taking some part of the energy, some part of this 14 volts, it is going to ORX before it goes to this parallel combination. So you cannot just come and say that R1 is receiving 14 volts, and that will be incorrect, because you have got some resistor here that is taking some energy, that is sucking some energy from the battery. from this 14 volts. Akuyonke 14 volts ozongena like parallel, because here Rx, it is getting what? It is also taking some energy so that it can work. Okay, I hope that you understand that. So basically, here we can see that we have some information, because primarily the law that we use to calculate many things, it is the Ohm's law, which is resembled by the equation V is equals to I times R, whereby OI, it is the current strength, then OR is the resistance, OV, it is the voltage. So you can find the voltage if you know the current and the resistance of a particular component. Tina, we're looking for the one that is across the parallel combination, and we definitely have an information about something in the parallel combination. Siyabona ngisho we're focusing on this blue part because that's the parallel combination of the circuit. So here, this blue part has got a resistor R1, which has got a resistance of 4 ohms. So we can just record that as data and say that this is the information that we know. We have a resistance there, and the resistor there, it is 4 ohms. And through that resistance of R1, we have got a current passing through, which is 2 amperes. Says for Melanine to say that the 2 amperes that we are finding in this emitter, it is the same thing as the 2 amperes through this 4 ohms resistor. So we can say that that's current, because we measure current in amperes. So the current through this 4 ohms resistor is equals to 2 amperes. So we are looking for the voltage or the potential difference. And then this is the equation that we use. V is equals to I multiplied by R. And here we can just come and say that a V is equals to IR. This is going to be a mark. And then V here will be equals to the current. We have it. It is 2 amperes. So we're just going to write 2. And the resistance, we have it. It is 4 ohms. We're just going to write 4. So 2 times 4 will give us a voltage of 8 volts. That is the voltage through this 4 ohms resistor. According to the Ohm's law equation, we can say here at R1, the 4 ohms resistor, it is having 8 volts. That's its potential difference. Guys, do not confuse these three things. There is current, we measure it in amperes. There is a resistance, we measure it in ohms. We have got voltage, we measure it in volts. Who are you to come and be like, amperes is volts is the same thing? Guys, take your time on your studies and listen and watch my videos very carefully. I've explained we've got voltage, which is the energy. We've got current, which is the rate of flow of charge. We've got a resistance, which is the opposition of flow of charge. So here, this R1 here, it has got a voltage of 8 volts. And since we know that in a parallel combination, the question said we are looking for the potential difference or the voltage across a parallel combination. Once we know the voltage of this R1, it is the same as the voltage of R2. It is the same as the voltage of the entire parallel combination, because in a parallel combination, we have agreed and said that the voltage is equal. We have agreed on my video, the one that you didn't watch. Make sure that you watch it so that you get understanding. So we can say now, therefore, the voltage across the parallel combination, it will be 8 volts. Because the voltage of R1, no matter the potential difference of R1, is the same thing as the potential difference of R2, is the same thing as the potential difference of the entire blue part, which is the parallel combination. Okay, so basically it's 8 volts, that's all. So you get 3 marks for that. You get a mark for the formula. You get a mark for the substitution, as well as the one for the answer. Now 6.3 is where you have to determine something. So 6.3 says determine the resistance of the bulb Rx. At some point, you should always know that you need to use this equation. Grade 10s, 11s, and 12 watching this video. You always need to use this equation. V is equals to I times R. So here you are looking for the resistance. So at least for you, let's just calculate what we know about Rx. What do we know about Rx? We definitely know that Rx, we don't know the resistance. Okay, we don't know the resistance. We are looking for the resistance. So here we're looking for the resistance of Rx. And we definitely do not know the current through Rx. We do not know the current as well. So current, we need to find it. Let's not say it's an unknown. It's something that we need to find, because we need to use that equation. So this is something that we need to find, the current. Do we know the voltage through Rx? No, but we need to find it so that we can be able to use this equation. So the voltage as well is a need to find. Not that it's an unknown, it's a need to find. What is unknown here is the resistance, which is what they've asked us to calculate. It's 5 marks. Think about it. How would you tackle this? Okay. Sharp. I've given you enough time to think. So basically, you can see that this battery or this power source has got a total voltage of 14 volts. So this is the voltage that we have in total. Now understand this. This Rx will take some part of the voltage. All right. So out of this 14 volts, since voltage is divided, we are trying to say that some of the voltage will go to Rx. Some of the voltage will go to the blue part, which is the parallel combination. So the voltage is being divided among those two places. So some of the voltage will go to Rx, some of the voltage will go to the blue part, the parallel combination, because here we are dividing the voltage. Okay, we are dividing the voltage. So in other ways, we are trying to say that this Rx will have some voltage and this parallel will also have some voltage. And when we combine that voltage, it must give us 14 volts because here we are dividing the voltage. All right. So we can say that here the voltage in the parallel combination plus the voltage that we are going to find in Rx, it must give us exactly 14 volts because we are dividing this total 14 volts. Some of it will go to Rx, some of it will go to the blue part of the circuit. The one that is in the parallel combination, the blue part of the circuit, we know it because we've calculated it on 6.2. We have calculated the potential difference in the parallel combination. We found out that the potential difference in the parallel combination, it is 8 volts. So this is plus the voltage of Rx, the one that we need to find, the one that we need here so that we can calculate. And then this is going to give us 14. And then if you transpose the 8 to the other side, this will be Vrx will be equals to 14 minus 8. You transpose 8 to the other side, it becomes negative. And then the voltage through the Rx resistor is 6 volts. Here we go. So the voltage through the Rx resistor is 6 volts. Please, let me repeat here, grade 10s, 11s, and 12. Please pay careful attention. This 14 volts, it will be shared. Some of it will go to the Rx, some of it will go to the blue part of the circuit. Some of it will go to the series part of the circuit. Some of it will go to the parallel part of the circuit. When I'm talking about the series part of the circuit, it is this part that I've highlighted in yellow, the one where we find Rx. So some of the voltage will go here to Rx, some of it will go to the what? To the blue part or to the blue combination. And we know the one that is went through the blue combination, according to what we've calculated on 6.2, the voltage or the potential difference across the parallel combination. So we definitely know that this blue part of the circuit, it is taking how much energy or how much voltage. From this 14 volts, it is taking 8 volts. That's why we end up having 14 minus 8. So out of this 14 volts, 8 volts iphelela la in the blue combination. Then the remaining one, which is 6 volts, it goes to Rx. Now we have the voltage. So we have found one thing. So one done. But for us to find the resistance, which is something that was asked, we also need to find the current as well. How can we find the current through Rx? Understands between a current and voltage and how they differ. Please do not make a confusion on them. So Rx, may I please ask, grade 10s, 11s, and 12, the current that is being received by Rx, what do we call it? According to what I have told you in my videos, what do we call the current that is passing through Rx? What do we call it? Pause, try to comment. We said is the total current, is the current that is coming from the battery. It is the one that has not been splitted at all. It hasn't been splitted. It's the current coming from the battery exactly as it is. It goes to Rx exactly as it is coming from the battery. I split it. I don't know how to explain this, but basically it did not split. It only splitted here at this point where it had to choose one path, or where it had to go. Some of it go there, some of it went there. All right. So basically, enye phezulu enye ngezansi. But it was at this point when it was entering through Rx, it was not splitted. It was just the total current, the one that we had initially. So we can say that the current that is through Rx is the same thing as the total current. All right. And we know that when we are splitting the total current, what can we say? We can say that here, according to how we split current, let me just wrap off a bit. So according to how we split current here, let's just be careful. Look carefully here, grade 10s, 11s, and 12, how current is splitted. So the total current that we're finding here in Rx, some of it will go to this 4 ohms resistor. Some of it will go to this 8 ohms resistor. So some of it will go this direction, some of it will go that direction. And then the thing that we can say here, if we are going to combine the current in the 4 ohms resistor and the current through the 8 ohms resistor, they must give us the total current because they are receiving the current that has been splitted. So we can say that the current through 4 ohms, right, plus the current through 8 ohms, it must be the total current. Why is that? I'll make a simple example for you. I've got 100 rand. I've got 2 people to share this 100 rand to. I give the first person 25 rand. The other person, I give them 75 rand. If I'm going to combine the money that they have, which is 25 plus 75, it will still give me back the 100 rand that I've given them. So here, this total current, pretend it's the total 100 rand that is being splitted to 2 people. One of it is the 4 ohms resistor. Another one is the 8 ohms resistor. They are receiving what? They are receiving it from the total current. If I combine the current in the R1 resistor and the current in the R2 resistor, it must give me the total current, the one that has been splitted, so that each one has its own current. Grade 10s, 11s, and 12s. Get me when I say that you need to pay careful attention. So here, the current through the 4 ohms resistor, we already know it is 2 amperes. We already know it is 2 amperes, so it's no big deal. But the one through the 8 ohms resistor, we don't know it. We don't know it. But we can find it. Okay, we can find it because remember, we are looking for Rx. We are looking for the resistance of Rx. So far, we know the voltage. We know the voltage. So we are looking for the current through Rx. And we say that the current through Rx is the total current. So we can find the total current. Okay, we can find it only if we know this current through the 8 ohms resistor. Can we find it in any way? Think about it. Remember, we have said that here we have got 8 volts. So that's the potential difference through the 4 ohms resistor. According to our calculation on 6.2, we said it is 8 volts. We use this 2 amperes and 4 ohms, right? We found 8 volts. So here at R2, we are also going to have 8 volts as well. Why is that? Because you know that when we've got resistors that are connected in parallel to one another, they've got equal voltages. So the voltage through R2, which is this 8 ohms resistor, it is also 8 volts because it is parallel to this 4 ohms resistor. So using this information, I can be able to find the current of the 8 ohms resistor, which is missing for me to find the total current, the one that I will need for Rx, so that I can find the resistance. That's why it is 5 marks. You have to think critically, guys. So you're not babies anymore. You have to face the reality and make sure that you pay careful attention. This is the only way for you to pass. Don't try to cram it. Trust me, it's going to pull you down. You need to pay careful attention. Cool. All right. So now basically, can I find the current through the 8 ohms resistor? Yes, of course, I can find it. How can I find it? I can still come and say that for this 8 ohms resistor, I'll just do it eceleni, V is equals to IR. The voltage through this 8 ohms resistor, it is 8 volts, because remember I've said that is the same thing as the 4 ohms one. The current through this 8 ohms resistor, it is the one that I'm looking for. Then the resistance, we know that it is 8 ohms. It is written here 8 ohms. So here we can just eliminate 8 by dividing by 8 on both sides. So divide by 8 nga, divide by 8 nga upper foot. So 8 and 8 will cancel off. The current there through this 8 ohms resistor is equals to 1 ampere. 1 ampere. So I can say that here 2 amperes, the one from the 4 ohms resistor, plus 1 ampere that is coming from the 8 ohms resistor. It is actually the total current. Because the total current here, the one that was going through ORX, it was splitted. Guys, the 100 rand was splitted amongst 2 people. 75, one person, another one gets 25 rands. When I combine the money that each person has, it must give me the same 100 rands, the total one, the one that I've given them, the one that I've splitted. So similarly here, the current in the 4 ohms and the 8 ohms, when you combine it, it must give you the total current, which is the current that will go through this Rx, the one that is coming from the battery, exactly as it is. So the total current here, which is just the total, which is the current through Rx, it is 3 amperes. So you know that Rx is receiving 3 amperes. There is 3 amperes of current through it. So now we know the current for Rf or for Rx. Now we are looking for its resistance. That's the final step. The 5 marks uzoyithola when you are diligent. So now we know that the voltage is 6 volts. We have calculated it at first. Then we know that the total current is 3 amperes. And remember, it's the total current engena labo Rx. So we have it is 3 amperes. So knowing the voltage and the current, we can find the resistance. And how can we find it? We use the law. V is equals to IR. And then V is equals to IR. That's just going to give you what? We know that the voltage here, according to what I've calculated, the voltage here is 6. So I'm just going to take this and say this is going to be 6 volts. The current here that is going through, we have calculated it to be 3 amperes. It's the total current, right? So I can come here and say that this is 3 amperes times the resistance R. Divide both sides by 3 to get the answer. My R there will be equals to 2, and we measure resistance in ohms. Don't just skip the unit. It is 2 ohms. A resistance as units is not 2 dogs, it's 2 ohms. So here we can say that Rx, it's a resistance there. It is 2 ohms. So that's how we get to the 5 marks. So this is 2 ohms. Even on circuit 1 is also 2 ohms because we are using the same bulb Rx. So it is 2 ohms. It's the same resistance. Hope we're together there. And then the last question, 6.3.2, it says, determine the charge that is passing through the bulb in 3 minutes. Let's collect the data, or let's collect the information of what we know before we get what we don't know. So we are looking for charge. So let's just say we are looking for charge. So Q is unknown. Charge, we use symbol Q to represent it. And we have the time taken for that charge to pass through the bulb, which is 3 minutes. So we know that the time taken for the charge to pass, it is 3 minutes. And now we're talking about the bulb here. So here we're talking about the bulb. So the bulb. Remember, only have got one formula that we use, Lana, for your level, the one that has got charge. And it says that the current is equals to the charge over the time, because current is the rate of flow of charge. This is the equation that we use. All right. So here, for us to be able to get the charge, we need somehow to find the current. But the current through what? The current through the bulb in 3 minutes in circuit 1. The current through the bulb, the one that we found here on 6.3.1, it was the one for circuit 2. All right. The resistance is the same. It's 2 ohms. It's also 2 ohms here. But the current is not necessarily the same because we are connecting this in 2 different combinations. One is series, one is parallel. So you cannot tell me that the current that you have found here of 3 amperes, you are going to use it here and say 3 amperes also for circuit 1. Wrong. Find another way to find the current. You have the resistance here is 2 ohms, the resistance of the bulb, because here we're talking about the bulb, right? So how can you find current if you know the resistance? How can you find current if you know the resistance? Because once you find that, you'll be able to do what? You'll be able to find. And here you can see it will be very tricky because for you to find that, you'll need voltage, right? Because you have resistance as 2 ohms. Remember the equation V is equals to IR. For you to be able to find one thing, you need to at least have 2. Here we are looking for the current, the one that we need to find. So this is a need to find. It's not an unknown, it's a need to find. So this one that we need to find, we need the voltage through the bulb in circuit 1. We also need the resistance through the bulb in circuit 1. The resistance we have, it is 2 ohms because that's the resistance of the bulb. But the voltage, we don't know it. So we cannot find the current easily. So, and if you try to find the voltage here in circuit 1, it will be very difficult because we've got this 14 volts. It will be shared. Some of it will go to Rx, some of it will go to R1, some of it will go to R2. And it will be a very, very, very deadly mistake for you to say that it will be the same voltage on all these 3, because no, it's wrong. You cannot say that. So how are you going to tackle that? That's when you need to know that when you have got resistors in series, always combine them to make them only one resistor. ngithini mina ngithi when you have got ama-resistor that are connected in series, always add them together. Add them together and pretend that they are only one resistor. You know that this is 2 ohms, is in series with 4 ohms, in series with 8 ohms. So what can you do here? You can try to find the total that they have in circuit 1. So basically, I will just redraw circuit 1 for you to see better. So here you have got, this is your circuit 1. Okay, this is your circuit 1. And then circuit 1 here, what are you doing? You are going to add, you see here, you can say the total resistance of circuit 1 will be 2 ohms plus 4 ohms plus 8 ohms. You are combining them so that it becomes simplified. Right, you're finding the total resistance. So here, 2 plus 4 plus 8, that is going to give you what? 2 plus 4 is 6 plus 8 is 14. So this is 14 ohms. So when you've combined them like this, it means that you can just pretend that you have got only one resistor, which is 14 ohms. That's what makes things easier here when you've got series, things that are in series. You can combine them and pretend that it's only one thing. Okay, basically you are combining your 2 ohms loan. You combine it with this 4 ohms. You combine it with this 8 ohms. 2 plus 4 plus 8 is 14 ohms. So you pretend that this is one resistor, which is just 14 ohms, because it's the sum of all of them. You are writing only one 14 ohms. You have combined all of them. Returns 11 12s. Okay, so now to find the charge that is passing through there, what do you definitely know? You definitely know that the power source here is giving a 14 volts as written there. So it means this 14 ohms resistor, it is getting the 14 volts because we've combined them into one resistor. So it means together, all of them, they are getting the 14 volts. All of them, they are getting the 14 volts. So this 14 ohms, their combination is getting 14 volts from the battery. And knowing this, we can now calculate the what? Calculate the current that we'll need for us to find the charge. Now, obviously, V is equals to, okay, let's just write it here and say now, or the first step, this is the first step, it's a mark for you to do this. Now we can now come and say that here, our V is equals to IR, and say V, the voltage, we know that is 14 volts that is going through all these resistors. We have combined them into one. Then the current is what we are looking for. Then we know that their total resistance is 14. So divide both sides by 14. 14, 14, divide by 14 nangalen. So the current there is 1 ampere. So basically, the current that is passing through this circuit is 1 ampere. So we can now say we have the current. But now people will be like, no, we are talking about the bulb here. We are talking about the bulb. Why are we considering the total current? Guys, this is a series circuit. The current is the same. The current is equal. So the current through 2 ohms is the same current as the current through 4 ohms. And the current through 8 ohms is the same. Alright, it's equal. So basically this 1 ampere is applying to all of them basically. That's why we have combined them into one unit. So now we have the current, we need the charge. This is 3 and this is the time because it's measured in minutes. We cannot use minutes for measuring. We use what? We use seconds. How do we convert minutes to seconds? You know that 1 minute is equals to 60 seconds. So here we're having 3 minutes. We're having 3 minutes. How many seconds is that? It would have to be 3 times 60, right? So basically that will be 3 times 60. So we know that this time is actually equals to 3 times 60, which is 180 seconds. And now back to this formula, because remember the question is looking for the charge passing through the bulb. So here back to the formula and say current is equals to the charge over the time. So now we can say the current that we know is the current 1 amperes through the bulb, right? Is equals to the charge Q is what we are looking for. Then the time taken for that to pass. In seconds, we use 180 because it's in seconds. We don't use minutes. Then cross multiply that 1 times, well, this is 1 over 1, right? 1 times Q, that will be Q is equals to 180 times 1, that's going to be 108. What do we measure charge as? We measure it in coulomb. So this is 180 coulomb. That's how you get the 15 marks, grade 10s, 11s, and 12s. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and tell your friends to also Stay tuned.